What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon NBA DFS video. It is Monday. It is November 13th, and we are back with another video. 4-game slate. Not really sure what's going on with the slate. While sometimes it's, 13 games, sometimes it's 9. We've had 2, now we have 4. It's just, the smaller slates are good. The bigger slates give you more insight into some things. But that being said, if you've never been here before, we do it a little bit different. We're going to go over the article, which you see right on the screen right here. Normally, if any time there's 5 or more games, we're going to have 3 top, 3 mid, or 3 value picks at each position. Anytime there's less, we're just going to give you some of our projections. Now, some of these projections, we're not going to project out triple doubles. We're not going to project out 70-plus fantasy points. Basically, these are projections that it's easier to project for NBA than it is MLB, NFL, PGA, stuff like that. So we're going to have that for you. We're going to go over the Vegas numbers. We're going to go over the DVP numbers. We're going to look at some of the plays here. And then we're going to kind of go over what we have in our Bacon Station. Now, our Bacon Station is going to be new. It's a lot of research. It's a lot of stats, putting on players' days of arrest, so we're getting into, about a month worth of games coming up on a month. We've got statistics to look at. We've got usages of players, minutes per game. Like, these are all things that you need. So when you look at this, we do have a bunch of stuff under here. You've got NBA DFS minutes played. So if you haven't seen it yet, what this is it's all the depth chart, every single team, and the players that have the minutes they've played in the game. So last 3, last 5, last 10, last 5 games, it breaks it down as well. So you can go here and it's all the way down. It's very helpful. This is usually updated morning time, or at least by 12 noon. So definitely check back by 12 noon. Normally, anytime a video gets at least 50 likes, you leave a comment, you are a subscriber, you have a chance to win a free week of DFS content. 100 likes equals a chance to win a free month. 125 likes, a chance to win a free year. And anytime any of our videos get at least 150 likes, you leave a comment, you are a YouTube subscriber, you have a chance to win a lifetime pass, normally worth $4.99. All you got to do is leave a comment and be a subscriber. So our last video did not get 50 likes, so if we can get here, someone will win a free week of DFS content. But let's shoot for the moon. Let's shoot for 150 likes on this video. If you find it useful or helpful, hit that like button. If you want a little bit more, hit that like button. If you want to check out FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, you can. FTA Plus, $24.99 a month. You can check that out. Support the channel as much as you possibly can. So, that being said, we're going to go over some things. We're going to go over the projections first, and then we'll go over some things on the website. So, looking at the Vegas numbers, we have 4 games right now. We've got the highest over-under of 229, which is only up a half a point since opening. The Bucks versus Bulls. Now, the Bucks are an 8-point favorite, so this is something we need to pay attention to. There's a lot of blowout potential in these 4 games, so that's where I'm kind of a little bit weary, because if you don't have the right usage players in that game early before it maybe gets out of hand, we could be missing out. So you've got the Raptors at versus the Wizards. The Raptors a 9.5-point favorite with 228 and over/under. Kings versus Cavaliers, 224 over/under. Cavs are a 2.5-point favorite, and then we've got the Celtics at the Knicks, Celtics versus the Knicks, 221 over/under. The Celtics are an 8.5-point favorite. So all these games have blowout potential, minus Kings versus Cavaliers. So definitely something to pay attention to. And that's what we'll do. So we're going to go over the projections first, and then we'll go through and maybe look at some of the players that we like. So right off the top, point guard, Donovan Mitchell, 45 fantasy point projection. Darius Garland, 39. Jalen Brunson, 39. Scotty Barnes, 37. Drew Holiday, 36. And Jordan Poole at 35. Now, these will change. So these projections will change throughout the day when news comes out. We do have a few players that are game time decisions, so that will affect value plays. That will affect some projections as well. Moving to the shooting guard, we've got Zach LaVine at 40 fantasy points, Jaylen Brown 40, OG Anunoby at 32. We got Kevin Huerter at 31, Karis LeVert 31, Derek White 28, and Emmanuel Quickley 25 fantasy points. Moving to the small forward, you got DeMar DeRozan at 39, Denny Avdija at 28, RJ Barrett at 28, Josh Hart 25, Max Strus at 25, Harrison Barnes and Chris Middleton both at 23 fantasy points. Then we move to the power forward. You got Giannis. I love Giannis today. I'm paying up for him. He's in the picture of the video and the article for today. I've got him at 55 fantasy points. I'm not projecting him at like 70. He can get there. We know he's been there before, but I'm not projecting him obviously that high. Got Jason Tatum at 44, Pascal Siakam at 42, Julius Randle 41, Evan Mobley 38, and Kyle Kuzma 35. Then we move to the center position. You got Sabonis at 51, Nikola Vucevic at 40, Kristaps Porzingis at 32, Jarrett Allen 30, Daniel Gafford 29, and Mitchell Robinson 28 fantasy points. So those are just some of the projections. If you want to see the rest, you go NBA and you go to our NBA DFS player projections. So that is on top of that. Then we'll have our chalk. So what the chalk is if you play cash, these are the players with the ownership percentages. Now, this isn't updated. This is yesterday. But this is how we do it. So like yesterday, Malcolm Brogdon projected at 43% ownership. If you want to, cash-wise, I'm okay with that. If you want to pivot because you're playing tournaments, like a Damian Lillard at 10.4%, at getting more fantasy points, but he has 2,000 more. So it is a good way to figure out who you want, see where the consensus is, and pivot off of it. So that is our chalk. We have NBA DFS minutes played. We have the NBA points allowed by position. So this is updated as of now. So if you are going through and you want to be like, oh, look, largest. So Memphis Grizzlies give up the most amount of fantasy points to the point guard position. They're not playing today. You got the Spurs. We see them. They're not playing today either. You got the Pelicans, and then we get down to the Washington Wizards. So this is kind of what we're talking about. So Washington Wizards, you see, they give up the most amount of fantasy points total. Give up a ton against the point guard, dead last against shooting guard, second to last against small forward, second to last against the center. So you want to target against them. That is normally what we're looking at. So and you could jump off, who's facing them? We come here, Toronto. So Toronto, basically, let's just do all Toronto. So we look at this. Scotty Barnes, we've got him here. Game log-wise, he's averaging 48.8 fantasy points per game. We're usually looking about 6 times value for cash, so his average is a little bit less than that. He is 9,000. Coming off not a good game here, but then he had back-to-back really good games there. He is looking at 2 days rest, so if you kind of just look through here, that's 3 days rest. He did worse. That's 3 days rest. He did good. It just really depends on how they're playing. But then he had no rest here, and he played back-to-back. So a Scotty Barnes would not be a bad spot there. Then, so shooting guard, they're dead last against shooting guard. So we come here. Is that going to be, is he going to get the minutes? So we look at game logs, 28 minutes, 36, 38, 33, stuff like that. Did not do too good his last game, but we can draft Anunoby here as well. So we look at him, those two, and you want to, and then you kind of go and you see like, hey, the Vegas numbers, what are we looking at? Is it going to be a blowout? That's kind of where we're at there. So like I said, if you go to NBA, go to Vegas odds. I mean, we've got the Vegas odds. We got the top plays. The top plays are through DVP and they're through implied team totals. So just kind of looking at this, okay, what's the Washington-Toronto game? So we've got, it looks like the Raptors are going to be 9.5-point favorites, second highest over-under. So let's get the players that you think are going to be in blowouts or you think they're going to be playing. So if we look at game logs, you can kind of see the minutes are there. Not a blowout, not a blowout, not a blowout, kind of. And he got 24.5. Again, he's 5,600. So he has gone up through the season. So it's definitely something to look at when you're building through. So if we just look at like the top plays that we like, I'm going to give you the top 10. So, I mean, if you want to go through and you can see that they're bad against the center. So if you wanted to stack this game, you go center-wise. You go, we got Siakam here. He's playing, the minutes are there, the average is there, but his price is 8,000. If you want to go to Jacob Pertl, the minutes, they're not 100% there, and a couple of bad games here. But if we look at this, he's got a good matchup here, so he'd be a cheaper option. So that being said, that's kind of how we're building around the plays that we're looking at, all the games. If you want to pay up, here's kind of where I'm at. So looking at our Bacon Station, we see that Sabonis is the number one play that feels confident. He's averaging the minutes that he's getting. We're looking at projected minutes. So this is kind of how we can project minutes. Obviously, you want to find players that are going to be in closer games because the minutes most likely projected out. The minutes, they're going to be 36, 40. They're going to be up there. A blowout, again, if you don't have the right players in the blowout, they're out of the game. The minutes are lower because they're out of the game because it's out of hand already. So Sabonis might be just due to the pricing. If we look at this, you save 1,000 off Antetokounmpo. I don't mind him. Sabonis might be my favorite play overall, a little bit more than Giannis, just because of we're saving 1,000. At least on DraftKings, we're saving 1,000 there. So if you put him in there, okay, we've got him in as our center. You're averaging 4,900. Second one is Giannis here, projected about 34 minutes as well. Donovan Mitchell is third, Scotty Barnes 4, Jason Tatum is number 5. And what we're doing is we've done simulations. So with MLB, we did 10,000 simulations a day. We gave you the top players after 2,000 simulations. We're doing that again with NBA. So these are the players through simulations. So we got Jason Tatum, number 5. Number 6 is Damian Lillard. 7 is Siakam. 8 is Nikola Vucevic. 9 is Jalen Brunson. And number 10, after 2,000 simulations, Julius Randle. So those are your top 10. If you want to rewind the video and write it down, you can. The difference is we're looking at Brunson and Randle, or Vucevic, Brunson, and Randle all are at 1 day's rest. The biggest one is Damian Lillard is on 5 days rest. So that is a big key, whether or not he's going to come through. He is questionable, though. Got the Q tag, but he is probable. So he's got the questionable tag, but he is probable. He has not played since the 8th. So again, this is kind of what we're looking at. Rest is big. It's key, especially in basketball when you're running up and down a court for 40-plus minutes a game every day because you're doing practice as well. So we look at that. Those are the plays we look at. And we've got the Vegas numbers. Pace of play is a big thing, too. The big thing of pace of play, the team, Sabonis, big thing. Sacramento has 99.6 pace of play. Huge numbers here. Then we've got their opponent, being Cleveland, has a 94.3 pace of play. So there is a differential there. So the higher placed teams, they're going up and down the court more. So higher paced teams, in theory, will score more. So that is kind of something to look at when you're building through as well. So we're looking at least 6 times value is for every single player is a score of a minimum floor of 300 to cash in cash. If you want to place higher in GPPs, you're looking at about 7 times value, or we're looking at about 350 minimum score to take down tournaments or have a chance to take down tournaments. So kind of just looking at targets of scores here. We're looking at Sabonis. We're looking at he needs at least 60.6 fantasy points to hit that 6 times value, or 70.7 to hit that 7 times value. Again, I've been talking about it. I'm going to have a chart showing pretty much all of the salaries from lowest to highest, and then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times value for what you're looking at. So I'll get that chart out sometime when I have some free time. That's definitely on my to-do list. Hopefully I'll get that out. I had it on my old computer. I could not find it at all. So we'll look at that. We'll go through there. Giannis, we need at least 6.66, 6 times value, or 77.7 for 7 times value. So kind of you've got to look at their price, and then you multiply it by 6, multiply it by 7, multiply it by 8. Now, if you don't want to do that by hand, I will have a chart out there to kind of look at what we're looking for. And then, consistency. A big thing with fantasy is consistency with your players. So we're looking at how many times has this player hit 2 times value, 3 times, 4 times, 5, all the way up to like 9 or 10 times value. So we'll have those numbers out there as well, and you can kind of look at that and you can see how much consistency player A has when you're building your lineup out there. So a lot of things go into building the cheat sheet, building the lineups, building the value plays, the projections. We've got it all. If you haven't checked it out, check out fantasyteamadvisors.com. We've got you covered. We've got you covered for NBA. We've got you covered for MMA. We've got you covered for NFL and PGA as well. So a lot of things going on. Definitely check out the website, fantasyteamadvisors.com. We have a lot of things going. We've got NFL tonight for Monday Night Football. We've got the cheat sheet going out for that. We've got the rankings will be out. So NFL, we have a ton. We have a volume report, which is usually updated Wednesdays. So that'll be out Wednesday. We have fantasy football snap counts also. Most things are updated Wednesday. So we get the Monday Night Football game out of the way. We get all the stats to either be updated or corrected on Tuesday, and then Wednesday we get that out there. Then Thursday we have rankings out. Friday we have ownership percentages out, which rankings and ownership percentages usually updated Sunday mornings just to get ready. Now, we don't have an 8:30 a.m. time. I think we're done with all the early games. We are getting into things, we've got this week. Then we'll move into Thanksgiving, where we have a couple of games on Thanksgiving, normal, 3 games on Thanksgiving. So the week's a little bit, so that'll be different. So the week of Thanksgiving, obviously everything will be pushed out earlier because we have games Thursday, like 3 games Thursday. So yeah, a lot of things we've got going on. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. Go check out fantasyteamadvisors.com. You can follow us on Twitter at advisors_team. A lot of things we're bringing you to hopefully make you a better DFS player. Now, if you are only looking into buying lineups, we do have lineups as a great starting point, not a copy-paste. We are not just that. If you're looking for that, you probably come to the wrong spot. But we give a lot of information out. We do a lot of research. So if you can give any love to these videos, that is what we're looking for. So let's just have some fun today. It's a Monday, I know. We're inching closer to Thanksgiving. We're inching closer to the holidays. So that's what we've got in this video. Good luck today. And as always, let's bring home some bacon. Peace.